Голос-то хоть есть? Ладно тогда. Я не помню, на чем я тут остановился. Я вчера не заходил сюда. А, тут кого-то убили.
Very hard on the head. Could they have bludgeoned him to death and then gutted it? That would explain why he didn't scream. Lord above, they did a hell of a job on him. Must have been agony. How come no one heard anything?
Так куда ты пропадаешь опять? А куда все ушли? Охуенно. Интернет тупит.
Just like that? Well, I heard about him. He's a right skinflint. And what did Betty have to say?
Well, she was well pleased, as you can imagine. Even more when I told her Tonda will take everything she makes.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know nothing about it, but ask all you want.
Это не я.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
I didn't really know him. He kept to himself, even in the tavern.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Come to think of it, he was in church yesterday. He was even talking to the priest and went to confession. I was wondering what he was up to take to the faith all of a sudden. But I suppose no sin's too dark for God's mercy.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I was coming from the tavern very late that night, and I caught a glimpse of someone entering the village. He looked like he was in a hurry. It was only a shadow against the sky, but after what happened, I wouldn't wonder...
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time with? Relatives or friends?
Not with anyone from the village. He used to sit in the tavern next to us sometimes, but he never said much.
That's all. Thank you.
Такой вот
Good
чувак.
luck to you.
Ладно, прежде чем тебе показывать личико, надо до купальни сходить и подстричься. Ладно, так. Сейчас, погоди. Надо найти с кем поболтать. Что это я без лошади? Нормально.
What else do you, sir?
Вот чучело. Саты.
Very well.
Jesus Christ be praised. Good luck to you.
Чё фыркает? Нормально вид, что тебе не нравится. Вообще как пан герцог выгляжу какой-нибудь. Ладно, шлем напялю обратно. Возмущается что-то, как будто это твой главный герой.
I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Ask away.
Who was this Lubosh who was murdered?
He was a drunkard and a beast, and lazy too. Idle hands are the devil's tools.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
The only thing seemed suspicious was how a rogue like him suddenly started going to church. Now I see why, of course.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
What do I care about that scoundrel? I was glad he stayed out of my way.
Do you know who Lubosh used to spend time with? Kin or friends?
He was always a loner. Except lately, he started talking to the parish priest, of all people.
That's all. Thank you.
Священника этого еще найти надо. Где тут церковь?
That sounded like...
А каменная или деревянная? Вон священник идет. А, нифига.
Jesus Christ, your clothes. Were you assaulted? Damn bandits, may they burn in hell.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Ask all you want, lad.
Who was this Lubosh who was murdered?
Those that live by the sword, die by the sword. I'm not surprised the end he came to.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Everything about him was suspicious. I always gave him a wide berth.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
How would I know?
Do you know who Lubosh used to spend time with? Kin or friends?
I don't know, since I don't go to alehouses.
That's all. Thank you.
May the Lord watch over
А
you.
где священника-то искать? Ну, не знаю, даже как примерно выглядит. Вот, по-любому. Как всегда, недостроенный. Уровень новый. По-любому здесь. Вон он тусит. Отец Бугута.
Father, didn't I see you outside practicing swordplay? I wouldn't have expected that from a man of the cloth.
With a stick. I practice with a stick. A reminder of my youth and days gone by, and it helps keep me in good form.
The blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa, investigating the massacre at Neuhof, which seems to be connected to a murder here. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy. I hope this nasty business will be cleared up quickly.
Did you know Lubosh? What was he like?
A bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't think he was such a bad person.
Did you notice anything suspicious recently?
My child, all sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubos don't know what to do about it, and sometimes they do stupid things.
That's really not a lot of help to me, Father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you know what Lubos was doing on the day Neuhoff was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I can't.
What?
Чё?
One of those is the sanctity of the confessional.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances, and this is one of them.
Офигенно.
For heaven's sake, Father, can you really look me in the eye and tell me that, when you know you may be condemning innocent people to death?
I can, because if I broke that vow, the consequences would be much worse than if I didn't. Maybe not immediately, but one day. The mills of God grind slowly.
Father, Lubos was my only lead to the Neuhoff raiders. Only he could tell me who was responsible for that massacre. If I don't find out who it was, it will probably happen again. Surely you wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confessional. I'll tell you what. Give me some time and I'll try to think up some way of helping you. Suppose we talk it over in the evening, in the tavern, over a cup of good wine. Maybe we'll come up with something.
All right. Thank you, Father.
May the Lord watch over you.
Офигеть, он мне просто так репутацию испортил. Мудак. Хрен лысый.
What do I want for them?
Вечером в корчме. Вечер это сколько? Часов 7? А, так уже вечер.
Coming.
Вот 8 часов. О, вон сидит.
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything. But maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless. We had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovno. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but...
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujitz, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened at Noel? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumors aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhoff stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarreled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claim. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home. I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword. I wouldn't expect that of a man of the cloth.
You know what they say. The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to places where affairs were settled by force. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
Here you are, and good health.
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again, and I can't stop them.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But first thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits isn't Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. And, of course, describing them in detail. The tongue-lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well.
Give me an example.
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church, the lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison, and nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They don't know mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive fur. While Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
Хуя он жесткий какой, блядь. Эту игру пора запрещать в России. Что-то он священник набухался, орёт, блядь.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticises the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up, and the church will be shaken to its very foundations.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected university in Europe?
Ой, блин.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. It's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
Когда он уже выпьет-то?
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Бать, как я буду с похмелья расследование вести? Какая красивая музыка.
Do wczorajszylny staje brak, už se bojí svatý muži, nechtěl bych bej bělý kůži. Nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požerem si huby jako poslední den. Budeme se bavit, ano, ráda slávy, a tak vypal suky a posaď se mi sem, tak posaď se sem a vypal je ven. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zítra jen tu jsou nejden, tak nalej mi hned a točí se svět.
Enough of this!
Bailiff, come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped, and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can ride is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
Пофигеть.
You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
О, бляха-муха. Капец, что происходит, блять? Грешник. Я сейчас буду на пару со святым отцом пиздить Рихтера. Капец, блядь. Фига какая классная игра. Капец. Пусть святой отец не мешается под ногами, а тот, блядь, последние волосы потеряет. Куда побежишь? А почему? Чё? А почему не выполнено? Почему не выполнено-то? Революционер. Весело. Что весело вести? Ага. Фигаще священник, блядь. Охренеть. Ёбаные волки. Хотел же я в тот раз сохраниться, блядь. Пиздец. Опять все сначала. Ладно, я это быстро сейчас пропущу, наверное. Ладно, зато посмотришь, как я на лошади катаюсь. Капец. Фига я сейчас задолбался, блин, смеяться над этим мудаком. О, заодно тебе покажу, как это вообще началось. Ой.
Move along, citizens. Move along. There's nothing to see here.
That's what you call nothing to see. I'd like to know what something to see looks like.
By the keys of St. Peter, this is all I need. We'll have to send word to Sir Hanush.
That might not be necessary.
Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, in the service of Hanush's Captain Bernard. I'm investigating the attack at Neuhof, and I think this could be related.
Well, I'm the bailiff of Auschwitz. And I say we don't want any of that kind of trouble around here. What makes you think this has anything to do with Neuhof?
One of the folk at the stud farm recognized someone from Auschwitz among the bandits.
We have no bandits or murderers around here.
Really? They say he had a limp?
Shit. Well, allow me to introduce you to Limpy Lubosh. Or all that's left of him.
Sakra. Nothing's ever easy. I'll have to take a look around and ask a few more questions, if that's all right with you.
You can take this mess off my hands and welcome to it. As for what else there is to find out, I don't know. But look and ask all you like.
Сейчас усну. Ты куда пропал? Это все неинтересно. Мы и так со всеми болтали уже. Надо только про священника узнать.
Another... When... He...
Ты... У кого я в тот раз узнал? У него.
Good day to you.
That Have you... Do you...
Ты где?
That's all.
Farewell.
Все, можно к священнику идти.
Yeah.
Эй, Джонни. Ты куда пропал? Что, а священника-то нету, блядь? Ой. Батя Бакута. Бла-бла-бла-бла-бла-бла-бла. Бла-бла-бла-бла-бла-бла-бла. Бла-бла-бла-бла-бла-бла-бла.
Fuck there.
Ой, ему не надо.
But Lubos is dead. You can't hurt him, but if you don't tell me, more innocent people may die.
If I told you I would be betraying a vow that's a cornerstone, if people believe...
Ладно тогда. Бла-бла-бла-бла-бла-бла-бла.
Good luck to you.
Have you thought of a way?
Let's leave it for the evening. Come to the tavern.
Это мы тоже уже увидели. Закончить. Такой вот лысик. А, так до корчмы-то дойти. Надо сохраниться как-нибудь. Я не хочу по сторож бегать. Отойди, блядь, с дороги, дура. Я вроде бы оплачивал уже. Так что можно еще поспать. Я отправлю письмо. Я здесь единственный, кто умеет писать. Ха-ха. Это он его обманул. Или не обманул. А Рихтер ж не умеет писать. Смешно. Я не понял, а почему в тот раз-то как что-то не то пошло? Почему я ему не смог помочь? Фишек, ту-ту, ты тут-тут. Тут-туру-туру-ту-ту. О, все. Пойдем бухать еще раз. Мне было мало.
The blessings of our Lord.
Бла-бла-бла. А что за фигня?
The blessings of our...
And with you, lad. Take us...
А. Да, надо сесть. Это не зря я в тот раз так замутил. Папа Урбан 6. Угу. Я искалец, ёпта. Это так. Да.
My porch. Now, you know, let these.
Сейчас побыстрее все пропустить. Ходит, я зашел в тупик, бла-бла-бла-бла-бла-бла.
Well, it happens. What?
Давай выпьем, заебал.
What do you think?
Это спидран.
I knew you would.
Ладно, я на это даже еще раз с удовольствием посмотрю. Как это было весело.
Przyszła bida mora lat, to nie ustoi żadnej chlap. Tak kraj panu niesej smutek, dniodnielo i rano utek, niech ich małżeński majstrat, do wczera żył nesaje krak, už sejmoj svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejbě kůži, nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požadem si umí jako poslední jen. Půjďme s vámi, ano ráda s vámi, a tak ty pasuky a posaď se mi sem, tak posaď se sem a ty pal je ven. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zítra jen tu svou nejden, tak nalej mi hned a točí se svět.
Enough of this!
Enough of
Bailiff! Come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped, and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can ride is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
Тиндер лучше бы дальше валялся под скамейкой. Можно я сохранюсь сразу заранее? Пьянство, новый уровень. А, не сохранится тут. Кто из них священник, а кто есть кто, я не понимаю. Спи уже, блядь. А, нихуя, они там втроем на меня напали, что ли? А кто из... Ой, блядь. Оу, меня мотает куда-то. Это кто? Это крестьянин какой-то. А священник где? Священник-то где? А, я помог ему. Поднимись на колокольню. Да хватит ты, блядь. Ох, я ничего не вижу вообще. Вон священник стоит. Он двери открывает. А что мы делать будем? Капец, бух. Да хватит, блядь.
Watch the step, my dears. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Godwin, you're a buffoon.
Ох ты ж, я на частной территории. Только
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Народ будить в 3 часа ночи будет.
We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
Что происходит?
This is wonderful.
Ну, пасхалка от разработчика.
Ah, bloody oath.
And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Капец, блядь.
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here.
Ёбаный.
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
Блять, сейчас забанят на ютубе. Пипец.
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Да ты заебал. Какая красота.
Godwin, you beast! Get up! Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell.
Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you?
Ты кто такой, блядь?
Henry. My great friend, Henry. And we have a wonderful time.
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head. Oh, my guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look, from what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
Так, я тогда пойду перекурю после такого нафиг. Ты типа хочешь сказать то, что ты дальше ничего не видела после того, как они забухали и их выкинули на драку?